Hey guys, it's AZJASON, and this is a practice war. I've joined a new alliance called Space, and we are doing section 1, left and middle, and then left and middle as well in section 2. Because of work constraints, I joined a bit late and saw that this Chitinous Thorns node was open, and it's a perfect node for G2099 to get ramped up against Colossus. This is interesting because Colossus is almost always placed here. He gains armor ups, and so when you have a critical hit, you basically do no damage, and so you're always battling with a normal champ here to counter those armor ups with your critical hits, and then just sort of a toughish fight, plus is a bleed, so you need a bleed immune. The Guillotine doesn't have any critical hits, and so she's, in my opinion, the 100% best option for this fight. I used to run path 3 in my old alliance before I made the switch to path 8. And so, just for old time's sake, I thought this would be a great fight to kind of clear it out and get a few reps in with G2099, because I haven't really used her too much. So what we're seeing here is, again, the immunity on the left-hand side is because of the Chitinous Thorns bleed. Again, she's bleed and poison immune. And then as I hit him, he's degenerating as my hit count increases. So intercept there, really just trying to kind of manage the power, and his power is popping up pretty fast. And I forgot to mention, this is the Protect global node, so that can be a consideration, not so much on this fight, but on other ones where you're doing like a big special and it might add protection, in which case you've got intercept to clear it. But again, this is just a slow, methodical fight where I'm pushing him up to SP1 or SP2, baiting a special, and then I'm already at SP3. I could certainly have used SP2 probably earlier and still gotten back up to SP3, but again, this is a pretty easy ramp up fight. In my opinion, it's not really worth it, so I just get to SP3 and I'm going to be holding it there until I get to 5%, get to SP3, kill him instantly, and I'll be ramped up for the next fight. So looking ahead to the next fight, I kind of suggested to the alliance that I get some reps in. On the left hand side, there's a Hyperion on the Rage node, and then Apocalypse on the Hurt Locker node. So because, again, we're not really doing full paths here, I was in a position to kind of bring specific counters to those fights, so I brought SYMBIOTE SUPREME for Hyperion, and then I brought Tigra for Apocalypse. I did take last season 25, off from competitive alliances. Just kind of need a break from work, got a lot of work stuff kind of going on, and I chose instead to kind of focus on content. I was able to 100% Act 7.1. I finished variant 6 100%, and I actually ran 4 paths of the Abyss. I was looking for those sweet rewards, and again, without the AQ and Alliance or commitments, I was in a great position to kind of spend the time and do a lot of auto fighting and getting potions up, and I ran paths, I think it was 3, 2, 4, and 5. Might be out of order a little bit there, but I was able to knock those out in a matter of a few weeks, and we'll have a separate video on the crystal opening and whatnot here shortly. So next fight here is actually in the left-hand side minis. Again, this is the Rage node, again with Protect. So SYMBIOTE SUPREME is an amazing counter. Hyperion is going to be nullifying the power gains. And then with the Rage, you're looking for some sort of a damage over time. So depends on the defender, but like Human Torch is always pretty great, Archangel is usually pretty great. But in this case, I thought a great safe bet would be SYMBIOTE SUPREME. I'm just going to be basically baiting all of these specials, SP1 and SP2s, until I get my SP3, and kind of get that rolling, then just send the bleeds, and you just keep doing SP3s until he basically dies. And you'll see that it's a pretty successful fight. So you see I did SP3, and on the left hand side there it had 100. That's one thing with Symbiote Supreme you always want to watch out for. Some folks are fighting with him and prematurely release the specials when it's at 25, 50, or 75. You don't quite get the damage. In this case though, SP3, it's all about sort of doing those nullifications and then the bleeds, because again, with Rage Node, I want those bleeds on him. I've got 5 bleeds going at one time. I hit SP2 at 100, I could have hit it for potentially big damage, but again, remember, Rage Node, you can't go more than 200% of the health. And then secondly, with protection, I would have triggered protection node as well. So I'm really avoiding SP1s and SP2s and strictly doing SP3. So again, I've got more bleeds going here. Bleeds kind of dropped off, but as I hit them, I'm going to kind of stack them yet again. I'm up to 5 bleeds, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. Just kind of get the damage over time going up. I'm still at 96% here. Again, I got the 100 purple there. Could have hit SP2. Again, not a great idea here on this Rage and no protection. I'm just looking to keep adding bleeds. We're at 3, and I think I hit one more SP3 and then a couple more hits and he's dead. %, 7, 6, another SP3. I'm at 68 hits, haven't got touched. A little bit closer to SP3, but hopefully got nullified, died. So that was a pretty great fight. Alright, so the last one I've got for this practice war is an Apocalypse fight with Tigra. Now I've got G2099 ramped up. That was the whole point of that, and she'd be a great option. Could have and maybe should have let off with her, but I love playing Tigra and she's fun. So again, being off all last season, I'm probably pretty rusty, so just trying to get some reps here in the off season. So Apocalypse has 2 charges, there's F4s, which means I know that when he hits on my block, that second hit wouldn't stun me. So what I'm just doing here is just trying to get kind of pushed back in a corner. I'm going to probably just hit into his block and try and get to that first SP1, and there it is. So I'm kind of preparing for the dodge and evade. Dodge back 3 times, 1 hit there. You can get 1, 2, or 3 against base here spacing. That wasn't perfect, where I'm only getting the last hit. The really skilled Tiger players can usually dash back 3 times, get 3 sort of hits into the air. You get really close to Apocalypse. So when you do that heavy attack counter, you're getting 3 strikes and really build ruptures. Again, I'm 45 seconds into this fight, he's already done 53%. I got 2 hits in there. You can release the heavy before all the beams are over. So you can kind of see that ruptures build, and I'm just kind of looking for an opening here to hit him with a big SP2 and wipe him off. I think it's coming pretty quick here. I'm going to do it right before, right there, SP2. Now he blocked it, but he can't do the blockable last hit, so that just erupted some of those ruptures. 3 swings back, 2 does a little flip, release heavy, and again, he's in the core, he's dead. Oh, one more time. 2 flips. 97% health. I think, again, for being rusty and not participating in Alliance for last season, I'm feeling pretty darn good about that fight. So that's pretty fun. I hope you enjoyed that practice war. We got in some good reps with G2099, SYMBIOTE Supreme, and Tigra. Again, Guillotine would have been a great option against Apocalypse, but I was really looking for Tigra. And Tigra has an amazing synergy with Elsa Bloodstone. So if you haven't looked at that, consider that. I've actually got Elsa on defense. At the time, again, practice war, I had Suicides on, so I thought that might be a good placement to see if we can't catch someone on the opposing team not bring a mutant or not prepared for that. They get a really nice degen, maybe get a kill. And had I known the situation, I would have loved to brought Elsa along for that synergy with Tigra and seeing what kind of damage we've done. But again, this team was sort of perfect for the 3 fights that I kind of took on for this war. So that concludes the video. Again, this is sort of in between Season 25 and Season 26. And look for more Alliance War videos in Season 26 with this new Alliance. You guys have a great night.